You know what's strange? There are people who finally get the calm life they always wanted, and then slowly start messing with it. Not in obvious ways, nothing dramatic at first. They pull back from people who are actually good to them. They create a little tension here, a small conflict there. They make something fragile out of something that was fine. And it's easy to assume why. Maybe they like chaos. Maybe they're just afraid of happiness. But it's not that simple, because for them, peace doesn't feel like safety. It feels like something else. They reach a quiet moment, and something in them tightens. It's subtle. They start checking for problems that aren't there, replaying small interactions, just to make sure they didn't miss anything, reading between lines that probably don't exist. And there's this urge to do something, to fix something, to prepare, even when, objectively, nothing is happening. From the outside, it looks like self-sabotage, like they're ruining something good for no reason. But that's not really what's going on. This isn't carelessness, and it's not weakness either. It's a pattern, a quiet rule their system learned a long time ago. Stillness is when things go wrong. And that rule didn't appear out of nowhere. It usually comes from environments where calm didn't last, where things could shift without warning, where safety was inconsistent, where you had to stay alert, not because you wanted to, but because you had to. So they adapted. They got good at reading people, at noticing small changes, at staying one step ahead of whatever might happen next. And that ability, it worked. It kept them safe. Psychology has a name for this: hypervigilance. Basically, a mind that's trained to scan constantly. Not broken, not flawed, just trained. And the thing about training is, it doesn't just turn off when life gets better. Here's what's a little unsettling. That same system keeps running, even when it's no longer needed. Life becomes calm, more stable, less unpredictable. But the brain doesn't go, "Oh, we're safe now." It goes quiet. And to a mind that's used to noise, quiet can feel suspicious. No signals, no movement, nothing to respond to. And instead of relaxing, it starts searching. It's like having a high-sensitivity alarm system in a house that no longer gets break-ins. Every sound feels important. Every shadow feels like it means something. And when there's nothing, that's almost worse. Now, think about this for a second. If your sense of usefulness came from handling problems, from fixing things, managing things, holding things together, what happens when there's nothing to fix? It sounds nice in theory, but in reality, it can feel strange, almost like you've lost your role. For a long time, you were the one who could handle chaos, the one who stayed steady when things weren't, the one people relied on. And then suddenly, there's no chaos, no urgency, no clear need for that version of you. So the mind does something quiet but important. It starts creating movement again. Small tensions, little disruptions, just enough to feel familiar. Not because you want things to fall apart, because in that space, you know exactly who you are. There's actually a term for this: trauma conditioning. It's when the familiar, even if it wasn't healthy, feels more stable than something new. And peace can feel very new, unfamiliar in a way that's hard to explain. So the goal isn't to just force yourself to relax. That usually doesn't work. If anything, it makes the tension worse. The shift is quieter than that. It starts with noticing that restless feeling on a calm day, that urge to check, to fix, to react. It's not a warning. It's an echo. Something old, showing up in a moment where it doesn't quite belong anymore. And instead of immediately acting on it, you pause. Just a little. You feel it, without turning it into something. And yeah, at first, that's uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. But over time, something changes. The silence doesn't feel as sharp. The stillness doesn't feel as heavy. Not because the pattern disappears, but because your relationship to it shifts. You start to see it for what it is. Not a signal you have to obey, just a response you learned. And this part matters, because the same mind that learned to scan for danger can also learn to recognize safety. Slowly. Not all at once. But it can't. From the outside, this whole pattern looks like self-sabotage. But up close, it's something else. It's a system trying to adjust. From a world where chaos was normal to one where it isn't. And that adjustment takes time. So maybe the question isn't, why do I keep disrupting good things? Maybe it's this. Can I stay in a moment that doesn't require me to survive it? Can I let things be okay without needing to change them? That's not an easy shift, but it's a real one. If this feels familiar, there's something worth sitting with. When things get quiet, what feels harder? The silence itself, or trusting that nothing bad is about to follow it?